I'm going to take you through setting up a new Atlas workspace. Now at this point in time you should have created an Atlas link in your Blackboard module site. If you haven't, you will need to have done this. And if you're not sure how, there should be videos preceding this one that take you through how to make either the tool available and to add the link to your Blackboard site. When you click on that link, you should come to a screen that looks like this. If you don't, if it takes you to an Atlas screen that looks different to this, then that means you don't have a creator account. Now, to get a creator account, you will need to get in touch with the Health and Wellbeing Faculty TEL team, and they will be able to set you up with a creator account to go through this process. Now, it's normal if you're going through this process for the first time to sit down with a member of the TEL team and go through it, because this stage is the most important stage of the whole assessment process as far as PebblePad goes. Settings changed or altered or put in incorrectly at this point, you may not be aware of as being incorrect until you're in the assessment window, when all of a sudden you've got problems of students not being able to submit or other issues that you were unaware of, and things can start to unravel. So like I say, any hesitation at all or problems, do get in touch with us and we'll be able to sit down and take you through it. So yes, assuming that you are able to get to this screen and you can now create a workspace, you are given two options. So you can create a brand new workspace, which is what we would recommend by default, or you can choose an existing workspace to copy settings and other components from. It might be tempting, if you've already used Atlas for a year, to copy the Atlas site from the year before. As a default, I would recommend not doing it this way in creating a brand new workspace, just because you never know what settings you might have put on in the first time you've run it, that you've forgotten are there, that cause you then issues in the second year, dates, times, anything like that might be different. Basically, if you create a brand new workspace, it gives you time to review and reflect on the previous year's site, what worked well and what didn't, and then build those in from scratch from the start. One of the exceptions to the rule, though, I would say, where you would want to choose an existing workspace, is if you've got a lot of externals. If you create a brand new workspace, your externals won't come with you. You'll have to re-add all your externals to the workspace. So if you've got a site with a lot of externals on, you might want to copy that site just so you're able to copy all the externals across. So anyway, we're going to create a brand new workspace. To do that, we just hit continue, and it brings you to this page. The title by default is the title of the Blackboard module site, which I recommend leaving, just because then if you're ever in Atlas, you'll always know exactly which Blackboard module site it is that it's linked to and where the students are and things like that. And also in the description, as you can see, it'll actually automatically put in the Blackboard module code. Again, very useful for making sure if you're wanting to ever double check that it's the right workspace connected to the right Blackboard site and people are in the right place. You can, though, change it. If you want to add something to the title, add something more specific that helps the students understanding, then it is fine to do so. You've then got the choice of whether to be in setup mode or active mode. This is basically the equivalent of Blackboard's hidden from students or available to students. I would recommend, if you go through in setup mode, do remember once you're ready for the students to see it, to change it into active mode. It's very easy to end up leaving it in setup mode and then wonder why students can't get on the Atlas site, can't see the Atlas site, and it causing technical problems. As default, again, unless you've got a particular reason to go into setup mode, I like to just go into active mode, because you can always hide the link in Blackboard anyway, and then just make it available to students when you're ready. But by doing it in active mode, you don't fall into that trap that I've just discussed. And then what we want to do is click continue. So the next options you've got is which pages you would like visible on the workspace. So again, this is what students are going to see. It's quite often useful for them to have an about page so they can gain information about the workspace and Atlas in general. Submissions, vitally important. Students can see their own submission. Resources, so again, if there's anything you want to share with students, templates or workbooks, anything like that, then it's useful for them to be able to see the resources. And then you've got community and conversation. So Atlas has built in the ability to create communities and chat groups and things like that. Generally, I recommend these to be unticked, just because we have Blackboard, we have discussion boards, we have other ways of doing this, which is more in line with where students get all their other information. So we like to keep that on the Blackboard site. It also makes it a lot simpler. And then you've also got the ability to select which page students land on. So submissions is a good one. Again, that's the default. So it means that if students ever click on the Atlas link, it will take them directly to their submission and they can see exactly what it is that they've submitted for assessment. At the very start of a course, you might choose to make it resources, just so the first thing students do when they click on the link is it takes them to where they can then take a copy of a template or something that you're wanting them to work on. But in the long run, submissions is a good one. So anyway, you can choose that. You can change it later if you want, so it's not the end of the world. And you just click continue. And then it takes you on to the managers. What it means by managers is basically it looks at the Blackboard site and anyone who's on there as an assessor or as a member of staff, and it will automatically see them and pull them all over as automatically as managers. So again, have a quick check that it's everyone that you want. If it's not, if there's anybody there, then I won't worry at this point. What you can do is at any point in time, once you've gone through this process, you can add academics to the Blackboard site and it will automatically update the Atlas site. So just by adding a member of staff to Blackboard, they will then have access to Atlas. It will take them across. And then you've got the members. So this is all the students. So again, you can check that your correct cohort of students are being pulled across. And again, that's synced with the Blackboard site. So as long as you know that all the students are enrolled on the Blackboard site, it should pull them all through. Again, any students that might start late or get put onto the Blackboard site late, Blackboard and Atlas will automatically sync when you click on the Atlas link, and it will pull them across and stay. So you don't need to actually add any students or staff to Atlas directly. It will do that automatically from Blackboard, so that's great. And then you can click finish. Now it will take you to this page. This is the about page. So as default, this is where students can find information about Atlas. Again, if you follow the process exactly as I've done it, you probably want to remove the conversations and community because they're not available to students. And then you want to have a look at the wording in here because it's quite likely you're going to want to change it and tailor it. What information is it about the assessment or the Atlas site that you want students to see? As default, if it's key information about the assessment, again, we recommend that should be in the assessment area of the Blackboard site. It doesn't need to show here, but it can be quite nice to sometimes have information about the course and things like that. So up at the top, as you can see, we've got the About, Submissions and Resources, the blue boxes. The blue boxes are what you've got access to, but is also what the students will see. You've then got Management and all these grey boxes, and that's just for members of staff. These are all the areas and settings that students can't see. There's going to be further videos on continuing to set up your Atlas site, setting up your assignments or adding resources or externals and things like that. But right now, at this point in time, once you're happy with your About page, you can click Save Successful, and you've now got an Atlas site that's connected and linked to your Blackboard site. So you've got a place where you can now do PebblePad assessments. All your students are on the site, all your staff are on the site, and you've got those links in Blackboard. Again, the next steps of how to set it up, that will appear in future videos. I hope this has been useful. Thank you.